ForeverSkies is a breath of fresh air in the early access survival game genre. It recently came out with a couple of demos leading up to its official early access release on June 22nd, and I wanted to give it a try and let you know if this new spin on a beloved genre is worth your time and money. ForeverSkies is a first-person post-apocalyptic survival game. The idea is that you return to Earth ravaged by an ecological disaster, and it's up to you to try and fix everything and solve what went wrong. You can fly, upgrade, and customize your mobile high-tech airship base, scavenge resources to survive, face dangers on the surface, and hunt for viral pathogens to cure a mysterious illness. That's at least what the Steam page description says. And sometimes these descriptions can be false or misleading, but with ForeverSkies, it's exactly what you get. Currently, the game is priced at $23, being on sale, and its normal retail price is around $30. All the footage you see is from the early parts of the game and some trailers that have already been released, so there will be no spoilers shown throughout the video. I was pleasantly surprised when I started playing this game. I knew very little about what this game exactly was, and the introduction tutorial gave me enough context to pique my interest and hook me in. To compare ForeverSkies to other games that started in this early access stage of the same genre, I'd say it plays a lot like Raft. With Raft having a raft, you'd sail around the ocean and it's just you and your trusty hook to reel in supplies to build up your new home as you follow islands to discover more about this world. With ForeverSkies, you have your aircraft and supplies with you at all times. Debris will float and drift past you, allowing you to claim the resources with a mining laser, which you can attach anywhere on board your ship. You progress through the game by flying towards radio towers and piecing together journal entries on what happened here on the planet and what really caused this disaster. It takes around 6 hours to beat the story, 13 hours if you want to unlock every blueprint and max out the ship. The ship's customizability is actually quite nice. Mine didn't really look the best. To be honest, I'm not the most creative when it comes to buildings, even though my father is an architect. I expected the building mechanics to be more clunky and less put together, but no, this game has it down pretty well. Everything is snappy and cycling through the menus isn't confusing. The way to get the materials for crafting basic structures on the ship is easy to get as well, with the previously mentioned mining laser, which is nice since you will be using a lot of crafting materials in this game. As you explore the world, you can find some well-hidden secrets, with the most valuable loot being hidden behind some kind of climbing exploration puzzle that's not so obvious, which I love in games, rewarding those who step out of the box and explore just a tad bit deeper. The locations you can discover aren't the same either, with multiple destination types and layouts allowing the player to feel a sense of mystery once stumbling upon the next big location. The exploration feels solid, and every time I went off in my own direction, it seemed like the game had something there for me to interact with. The gameplay itself is also smooth. Most early access games I've played as of recently seem to handle horribly, but both the first person and the ship controls for ForeverSkies are straightforward and easy to understand. Landing the ship is a bit rough. I managed to injure the hull numerous times trying to park the craft.
Uncharted area.
But overall, that's the main flow of the game. Go to a certain part of the world, get out of the ship, explore, harvest materials, progress the story, and perhaps upgrade your ship and then repeat the cycle. For what the game has currently, the amount of content is quite nice, especially for it being fresh on the market and also an early access game. The developers seem to understand what they want and have a clear roadmap ahead. They did state that major updates are planned every 3 to 4 months, and 4-player co-op is on the future plans. Will they hold to these plans? I sure hope they do. This is a completely new twist on a concept that I love for games. Now, I'm not saying that this game is perfect by any means, and since you have a crafting survival aspects for this game, some minor gameplay mechanics can cause a headache. I found that the stack sizes for a lot of the items are way too small. The starting chest is 6 slots, which combined with the small stack sizes is just a micromanagement hell. The initial survival elements feel a bit too harsh. Food and water drain fast, and you restore energy while sleeping, which also drains both your food and water in the meantime, thus accelerating the food and water draining fast, so you kind of have to be on double time to make sure they're both sustained. Over time, you unlock items that make survival way easier, so it's not an issue in the long run. But in the early stages, most of your time will be spent on keeping your stats up. There is little to zero combat so far in the current version of the game. I'd like to see more added in the future to enhance the experience of the world, not only in the weapons that they could possibly allow us to use, but the creatures we could fight in this beautifully dammed atmosphere. This may not be a problem for most, however, I could see other people clocking out of the game with these mechanics. And as much as I enjoyed the story that I played, there's no hiding that it is still a fairly short amount of story at the moment. Some users have also reported on some performance issues. I was running the game on around high for everything. FPS was sitting in the 70s to 90s most of the time. I got zero crashes, stutters, screen tearing, you name it. It was a solid experience, and again, for an early access title, I'll take it. That's a rare sighting. On a side note, I will say, for some reason, the rain effects in this game were loud. The thunder actually scared me. I'm not sure if I had the thunder option and the audio tuned up, if there even is one, but damn, I flinched hard. At the end of it all, ForeverSkies truly adheres to the definition of what early access is supposed to be. It's a game with a complete skeleton that still requires all of its components to be completely developed. From the exploring to the crafting to the base building, almost everything that goes into the finished game is practically included. Combat appears to be the only thing lacking, and personally I don't really mind that it's not 100% here, since it makes exploring a lot more enjoyable without having to fear creatures every corner I turn. And again, keep in mind that the game is rather brief. In less than 6 hours after much wandering, I reached the current end of my quest path. Having said that, what is there is enjoyable, and I think I got my money's worth out of the game already. For those who want more of a lengthy story and a finished one at that, perhaps wait a little bit longer for some updates or even the completion of the game. I will say that adding multiplayer and some more combat-focused elements to this game and later updates will make it a must for groups of friends wanting to dive into another survival crafting game. I'll probably return to ForeverSkies in major updates to come, and expect the final product to perform quite well, judging off of what we already have on these roadmaps and what's currently playable. If I had to slap an arbitrary number onto ForeverSkies, giving it a rating, for now, I'd say it's a solid 7 out of 10. I'll be honest, jumping into this game, I was weary of it being actually good. I'm happy I was wrong. Let me know some other games you think I'd enjoy checking out. Until then, have a good one. Bye.